Okay, finally, let's talk about the most important part. Who pays the shipping? Most of the times, the buyer pays the shipping. And so there's ways to know who pays the shipping. The two most important questions here is who is supposed to pay the shipping and who actually pays the shipping. So we're going to talk about some terms that will help you understand that. And I want you to keep in mind that freight in, the term freight in, is when you buy product from a vendor and that's being shipped to you. So the freight coming to you is considered freight in. Freight out is when you're actually selling to a customer. I'm sorry, earlier I meant when you're buying from a vendor. So when you're selling to a customer, that is considered freight out. So I want you to think of the terms freight in and freight out. But here's how you know who pays shipping. Okay, so we're going to talk about this term. It's called FOB shipping point. Okay, so FOB shipping point is the buyer pays the freight no matter what. So I'm going to give you an example of it on the next slide. So you understand that the buyer, if they're paying the freight into them, that freight actually becomes cost of the product that they're going to sell. So here's the journal entry for FOB shipping point. Okay, it says, I purchased merchandise from this company for $900, terms FOB shipping point. That means I'm responsible. But I actually paid $50 out of my pocket for that freight on the same day. So here's journal entry number one. I'm buying, so I don't have two journal entries. Here's the purchase. Now, it did not give me credit terms, like 2%, 10 net 30, so I'm not going to discount it. And then I actually pay $50 to the freight company to pick up my product. So when these products come in, the actual cost of this merchandise will be $950. Now, I want you to keep in mind that freight cannot be discounted. Okay? By the way, freight and returns cannot be discounted. So no matter what happens, if I was buying this on a discounted thing, that $50 could not be discounted at all. Okay? So this is FOB shipping point buyer pays. The next one is FOB destination. The seller pays. When the seller pays, or when it's FOB destination and the seller pays, it's called a delivery expense or freight out. So basically, if I buy product from somebody and have it shipped in, and then I turn around and I'm going to sell it to one of you guys, I am the seller. If it's FOB destination, the only reason I would pay freight is for your customer convenience. For example, maybe you call me up and you're a really good customer of mine and you say, hey, I need 500 t-shirts and I need them here by Friday because we're going to have this big sale over the weekend. Well, as a good customer, I might offer to pay freight for you. Okay? So if it's FOB destination, I, the seller, am paying the freight. So we're going to look at an example on the next slide about FOB destination. So I sell merchandise to Cran's Company on account, $700, terms FOB destination. That tells me who pays the freight. I do. And the cost of goods sold is $480. Remember, I'm selling. I need two journal entries. So here's the journal entry right here for the sale. Here's journal entry number 2 to reduce the inventory. And here is the delivery expense that I'm paying. So basically, I'm paying for shipping. Okay? So it's really important to know who is responsible for freight and who actually pays the freight. Now, in today's real world environment, this is not how things happen. In today's real world environment, it's called prepay and add. Sorry, guys, I'm a little uncomfortable. You're looking in my bedroom, so I'm just trying to find myself a comfort zone here. So we're going to look at something called prepay and add. It's called prepay. So what will happen is the seller will always prepay the freight and add it to the discount. That's what happens in real world. Because sellers are usually bigger, they have better discounts with the freight companies. So bottom line is this: the more you ship in dollar amount, the less freight you pay. That's why Amazon can offer you such great deals. So let me show you an example of prepay and add. So I sell merchandise to Planner Company on account $800. Terms are FOB shipping point. The buyer's responsible. That tells me that right there. However, I paid the freight of $45 and I added it to the invoice. And the cost of the goods sold is $360. So here's journal entry number 1 to recognize the sale. Journal entry number 2 to reduce the inventory at cost. And here's journal entry number 3 to add the $45 shipping to the invoice. Now, right now, the customer owes me $845. You can see that from here, from here and from here. So if we were doing this scenario, they would owe me $845. However, if we were doing a scenario where I'm going to give them 2% discount, how much do you think they might owe me? So I'll let you take time to get your calculator out. Remember, freight cannot be discounted. So basically, I'm going to take 2% off the 800. Okay? So I'm waiting for you guys to get that. You should end up with $16 off of the 800, which I believe that would be $784 plus the $45. That's how much they would owe me. So this is how you understand freight terms. No discount on freight. The two questions that are most important are who is responsible, and that's based upon FOB, and then who actually pays the freight. These are the two things that are most important here. So here's a little example. Okay, it just shows shipping point. Basically, is when the control of the product leaves the seller is basically who's responsible. So this concludes freight terms for Chapter 5.